Hey guys, welcome to the In Dating Podcast. My name is Mark Owen. I'm with Events and Adventures, and I'm here today with Haley Cohen Gray of Cohen Gray Connections. She is a dating expert and a matchmaker up there in Canada, up in the Great White North. How are you doing, Haley?
Good, good. It's so nice. I didn't expect us to be having this call, as you can see. I'm outside, but even better.
Oh no, she had no clue, you guys. We were on the call and she started talking about this stuff, and I said, "This is really good information. I love it. I agree with a lot of it, and we see some of the same things. We've both been in the industry a long time." And I'm like, we should just pop on, do a podcast. And she's like, but that's okay. It's okay. You know, those trees are beautiful. Now, where are you exactly?
I'm in Calgary, Alberta.
Nice.
Yes.
I love that looks kind of northwesty. And I grew up in Seattle, so I'd be very comfortable there, I think, other than the damn cold. So.
Yeah. And actually, if you ever get a chance to come down to Canmore or Banff, even better.
I was at Banff once for a music school, and it was absolutely beautiful. Extraordinary. Oh yeah, it's yeah. I drove up there from Washington State, and I just got out of the car and went, oh my God, this is so beautiful. It really is. But we were talking about dating and how dating has changed over the years. Because I've been doing this 38 years. Haley's been doing it a long time, and the way people date, the way they perceive the opposite sex and stuff is all different than it used to be. Why don't you tell me your thoughts on that?
Yeah, you know, my specialty is kind of in online dating management. So I do have a certification in traditional matchmaking as well. But I've really noticed a change, even especially since COVID, that these days we're really approaching dating almost with this shopping list mentality. So we're coming to the table with matchmakers or online dating, and we're coming with all of these lists and things that we need in a partner, whether it be, political preferences, height preferences, income preferences, education preferences. And the funny thing is, when I met my husband, it was on a street corner through a mutual friend, and I knew nothing.
You all both I had knew homes is and stuff. You weren't homeless. It was legit street corner.
Yeah. So it's just, I try and encourage clients a little bit to kind of, yes, some preferences are very important for sure, but I do encourage people to not toss the list completely in the garbage, but for the most part to be more open. And I think actually it relates really well to what you do, because you are bringing back that old school connection in a way where people are meeting people in person, and you don't know, they don't walk in the door into a singles event with a list of what their stats are.
You know, I think some people do, but you put the list in your pocket after you're there and you go, why do I have this list? I'm meeting people in real life. When you meet people in real life, you don't need the list, because you're getting to know them, and your body and your brain and everything and your heart tells you which person is the right person, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to step backwards a second. You said you met on a street corner. Tell me about this. Tell me about this man. And you married him, right? You married him?
Yes. We have been together for 10 years, married for 8.
Nice.
And what's so interesting about our connection is we met through a mutual friend, said, Haley, this is Jeff. Jeff, this is Haley. We said hi. I thought he was attractive. We left that introduction, and that mutual friend texted me, said, Jeff thinks you're cute. And I said, yeah, he's cute. He'd like your number. I said, okay, how old is he? And he said to me, oh, he's our age. Now, this mutual friend was my age, but I later found out that my husband was 7 years younger than me. Oh. And so I would have never known or dated him, essentially, because I would have been turned off by dating someone so young, because when I met him, he was 26 and I was 33. So that was a big age gap then.
That's a big, in life experience and where you're at, that can be a big difference.
Yeah, and it really was. And so I think when I think back to our initial meeting and I'm talking to clients and I'm trying to have them open up a little bit. I say, what is the worst that can happen? You go out on a date with someone who's 2 years outside of your age preferences. So what? What if that's true love?
100%. Now, statistically,
yeah,
a relationship's more likely to be successful if the woman's at least a year younger than man than if he's a year older than the man. But that is a general statistic. For you, it can be completely different. And obviously for you, it's been wonderful. You've been married 10 years. You're already past where most people get.
Yeah.
And so congratulations on that. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
So,
thank you.
And, you know, one thing I do see in the dating industry is a lot of people that have never been married trying to teach people how to get married. I'd be like, you know, hey, I know you've never ridden a bike, but can you teach me?
I know. It's very interesting that you bring that up.
You know, they're like, well, I've practiced a lot. Well, you know, if I'm single, I don't want to practice. I want to win. I want to get the best person for me, and I want to get them as soon as I can, so I can start living the rest of my life with them. And so, I mean, I've actually been on both ends of that, because I was married when I was quite young and divorced, and then married a second time and married extremely well, an amazing woman. So I've kind of been through all of that, right? All the different phases of it. And I think that helps me a little bit understand what's going on. So you're helping people online with their Match.com or Bumble.
Yes. I manage their entire online dating accounts.
Okay. So essentially, a lot of people might not even know what that is. Explain how you're doing that.
Yeah. So it's so funny. I always joke to my husband, you know, be careful, because I'm the best online dater there is. And I've been doing this for over 5 years for hundreds upon hundreds of clients all over the US and Canada. And what I do is I fully manage their online dating accounts. So I will take over their Bumble, their Hinge, their Match.com. And, you know, online dating in general develops burnout. It's exhausting. It takes a lot of work to get the results that you really want out of online dating, because essentially it's a numbers game. So clients don't want to put in that amount of work, and they also don't want to see all the not so great profiles. They would rather be presented only with people that match their certain criteria or preferences. So that's where someone like me comes in, and a client doesn't even need to sign in. All they need to do is approve a profile. So they'll get a written, like a PDF document of a profile that I would like to talk to on their behalf. And then if they approve, we set up a date, and then they just go on the date.
So you're actually having the conversation with the other person for them?
Yes.
You know, you told me this before. And when I thought it, I thought, that seems like it would be harder. I mean, if you know enough about the customer, you can get some stuff from that. Mm-hmm. But still, it's going to be really hard to make sure you're getting the right people.
Yeah. So just to interject a little right there, because that's true. And actually, so I have a rule of thumb. One being that conversations stay between like 3 to 5 exchanges. So they're very short. These are not pen pal conversations where we're getting personal. It's really just, you know, we matched. I'd prefer to meet you in person or have a phone call. It's very concise.
Okay. So it's quick to the point. Let's not waste our time like doing 5,000 things. I want to see a picture of you that's real. I want to see a video that's real. I want to talk to you in person, so I know who I'm talking to is really the person I'm talking to.
Correct.
They're thinking too, and they don't know that you're not the person they're going to be talking to. So it's like for me and not for me, or me and not me, I guess.
But it's not, you know, clients will ask sometimes, is it catfishing? And it's not that, because it really is that authentic person. Like photos are exactly who they are. They verified their profiles. Like everything is authentic to them. All the information is there. Essentially, I'm their assistant. So I'm just having I'm answering that quick first email, and I'm sifting through the profiles that they don't want to, so that they don't have to put in all that work.
Okay. So tell me your best story. What's the coolest thing that's happened when you've done this?
Oh, there's a few there's a few stories. I have seen people online that shouldn't be online. So that's
Sure.
always interesting. Yeah, I've seen married people that I know personally online. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, keep in mind, like, that's the world, right? Not everyone is faithful, not everyone is, authentic. So it is, these things happen. Um some of the really good stories that come from it are things like this. So oftentimes when I swipe on behalf of a client, I do listen to their preferences. I stay true to what they're looking for. But if I see something that my gut as a matchmaker tells me this person needs to step a little bit outside of their preferences, I will still present the profile and do my due diligence as the matchmaker to say, listen, just meet this person.
Yeah.
My gut tells me you should. And I did this this year, actually, in particular. I did this with a very high profile female client who was very set on not dating anyone over 70. This particular gentleman was 74 and they're now married.
Well, there you go. How old was she?
So she was 68.
It's right in that age group. I'm 64. So I'm becoming more aware of those things. So I'm not single right now, but hopefully never single again. You never know.
Yeah,
Things happen, but it feels fine. Yeah, that's interesting that would happen, and they're married. So congratulations. A lot of matchmakers and people in our industry never get a single person married. They fail utterly for years and years and years. So
you know that this year alone, thank you. This year alone, I've had a hand in 3.
Nice.
Yeah. So
That
it's
is
beautiful.
awesome.
I think that this industry found me, but I do think that it's also embedded in, if you want to connect people, if you believe in love, there's a piece of that that will make you successful as a matchmaker, and it's kind of embedded in your soul.
I think so. And I think if you create the right environment going in, so hopefully you're creating a good, like, kind of mesh with these people. I mean, we had an engagement last weekend in Seattle, so it happens all the time. If you put people in the right place, then they're going to be successful. I think there's so many people that have gotten sucked into so many weird ways of doing things that they're worthy of having great love. And the only reason they haven't found that is they haven't been around enough of the right kind of people. And you put them in a situation where they're meeting a lot of people and they're meeting the right kind of people, and it can happen really fast, especially if they've been frustrated for a while and they've realized that you can't have a 30 item list. You really need 2 or 3 things that are deal breakers. Like a lot of times it's like religion. Or, for a lot of people, as you get older, it's, I want somebody that's financially stable. And, how long their toes are is not important. Right.
And it's so funny, like when you talk to me, the financial piece is really interesting because, I have, there's 2 types of clients. There's clients that are already set financially themselves. And when this type of client comes to the table and says, I make $500,000 a year, I would like my potential match to make equal or more. I always challenge them because I'm saying to a client then, well, there is a very small percentage of people that make more than $500,000 a year. You're set financially. So even if your partner makes $150,000, as long as he can take care of himself, you can take care of yourself.
Yeah.
What does it matter? I mean, realistically, then your $500,000 just grew to $650,000, or you stay single and you continue looking for someone who makes $1 million, which you may never find. And even if you do find them, they may not be your match.
I was going to quote a song, but by Bo Burnham, where he's like, Prince Charming would never settle for you, was one part of it. And he's talking about lower your expectations a little bit. It's a hilarious song. If you guys don't know it, look it up. It's absolutely hilarious. A little crude, but a wonderful ending. Having realistic expectations, I think, is part of it. The money affects the power dynamics in the relationship. And a lot of women, while they make a lot of money, they want the man to be a powerful man, because I think there's an urge to protection for women. They want to feel like if something goes wrong, that man can step up and protect him, and she's not going to have to, protect her, and she's not going to have to protect him, right? And that's like way down in our basic wiring. I think it's hard to get rid of that. I know there was a study about that said that women want a man that makes more money, and the more money the women make, the bigger the difference is. So like a woman that's making 50,000 is fine with someone making 60 or 70,000. A woman that's making $500,000 wants a man that makes 5 million. So it gets really, the math doesn't work if you're older in that situation. There's not nearly enough men for the number of women shooting upwards. So that's a challenge. It can be very frustrating. I'm not judging one way or another, but I know it can be frustrating. And there's not going to be enough. There's going to be some people left on the sideline because there's only so many men to dance with in that category. And,
it's very true.
Yeah. Yeah. But I love that you did that. So tell me your nightmare story. What's the worst thing that's happened?
Well, thankfully, touch wood, I don't think I've had a nightmare story. Online in general, I think you need to be careful with who you're interacting with. I do take it very seriously, and I do tell clients, like for myself, if I'm representing or managing a client's account, I'm really only interacting with verified profiles. That's number one. So even if a profile isn't verified, before I even converse, I will request that they verify themselves. And if they don't, then it's a no for me. I stay away from profiles that have less than 3 photos. I think that, in general, though, you have to be very clear with clients. Like, this is a space where people are not thoroughly vetted, not in the same way as traditional matchmaking anyways. And so you need to meet people in public spaces. Like, you really have to be careful.
Well, and I'm assuming as a part of your service, you're going, hey, your profile sucks. You should fix it, right? And here's how you should fix it, right?
Well, the clients that I'm representing, they have fabulous profiles because I did that. But for other people, I also tell clients, take it with a grain of salt, because a lot of men don't even know, like, they don't know that this service exists. They don't know that they could have help, marketing themselves in a better light online. And at the end of the day, they're just average people putting out average photos and doing their best on their profiles. So you don't want to judge a profile too harshly either.
No, and don't be surprised. The average photo on Match.com is 5 years old.
Yes.
And you think that's crazy? Think of the pictures you have on your own. You put your best pictures up there, and it's only a couple of years old. So it happens. It happens. And I think if they're not, if it's not comprehensive on purpose, then if one of the photos is a little older, it's a little older. We're all living, and we don't update our photos every month on our stuff. You were talking about someone who talks about her dates online after every date. And I don't know about anybody in the audience. Oh my God, that would be the biggest red flag. That'd be a stop. I'd be like, nah, I'm good.
What's so interesting is that, it actually exists if you are someone who visits TikTok or any Instagram reels, there's a few people that do this, male and female. And this culture of kind of putting everything out there has also changed the landscape of dating, because people are more nervous. They're more apprehensive when it comes to connecting with people, because in the back of their mind, especially the younger generation, they're thinking, oh my God, is this going to end up on this site? Is this story going to end up here? So it's interesting.
It's one step below dating an OF model. And in a way, it's almost more offensive. You're going to monetize our date, our relationship. You're going to monetize our relationship. I understand Taylor Swift doing that. Because it's part of her branding and her dating is whatever. But I guarantee she was dating him before that. Right? She had a relationship, and then after the relationship to a certain point, she goes, I got to go public on this. It's going to be public either way. We might as well do it right. I don't have any paparazzi chasing me around. and I want to fall in love with a person, and I don't want to do it in a room where everybody else is looking over my shoulder and judging me. Now, and Events and Adventures is different, right? We're doing group events. Everybody's single.
Right.
But when you're meeting, you're just meeting. And I've had people before where they're like, boy, those two have been sitting together all night. And I said, don't go talk to them. Leave them alone. They obviously are very interested in each other. And I had one once where she goes, well, I haven't even got a chance to meet him yet. He's brand new. And I wanted to talk to him. I said, just leave him alone. You'll, the conversation, blah, blah, blah. Those two met at that event. It was his first event and they got married. So she never did get a chance to date him.
This is why I as someone who online dates for so many people, I was so drawn to what you do because, and part of the reason I wanted to even connect with you is I wanted to put this as a must in traditional matchmaking packages. Part of the concept behind that is I feel strongly that you need to have a holistic approach when you're looking for your partner. So yes, I believe that you want your traditional matchmaker if you're able to afford one. You'd want your online takeover, digital matchmaker as well. But that piece of getting yourself physically to in-person events where you don't know who's going to be there is invaluable in my mind.
Yeah, well, I think so. That's why, I do it, right? I've always felt that you're going to want, more about somebody after 30 seconds in a room with them than you do in all the online stuff in the world. So why not just start with that? And I know some people don't have that kind of time and they're just like, I'm too busy and da-da-da. But just in general, it's very difficult to be successful at something if you don't focus on it and give it the time it deserves. And you do that for so many other things in your life that make you successful. If you want to be in a real relationship, you've got to give it some time and some focus and go, okay, I want to make this happen. I'm ready to get married. I'm ready to fall in love. I do not want to be lonely and alone in my life.
And another thing that even you sort of mentioned today, which I think a lot of our clients could learn from is, so we're so used to this culture today of, putting filters on, getting our hair done for the right photos online, even for in-person events, you're prepared. And when you said to me, Haley, let's just jump on the podcast, I said, what are you talking about? I can't do that. I'm not wearing any makeup. My hair's in a ponytail. I'm sitting on a street corner. And you said, but it's authentic. And I think that that is a learning lesson that everybody can take to the approach of dating in general, because we want to connect with people that care for us and are attracted to us authentically.
100%, 100%. And, I tell guys that all the time when they're nervous and they're like, I'm so nervous. I want to talk to this gal. It's like Little Mermaid. Just go talk to them, because if they're the right person, it's going to go fine. It's going to go fine. Do not worry about it. Someone who's going to fall in love with you is not going to be put off by something silly. So you're going to be fine. But it's hard. The more attractive they are, the more you want to talk to them, the harder it gets for all of us. And even I'm willing to bet that either Taylor or Kelsey were very nervous. Even you've like, oh, well, they would. Of course they are. They get nervous, maybe not at the initial introduction, but once they go, I'm really attracted in this person, I better say the right thing or I might blow it. That is, you're not the only one to ever have that feeling. We all have that feeling. I drove my wife around for a half hour before I proposed to her. Wasn't sure she was going to say yes. Now, she knew exactly what was happening, and I can tell that whole story sometime. I won't right now, but
I'd love to hear that story.
Yes. I'll tell you next time we do a podcast. I will tell you the whole story. It was very sweet. She was very sweet and wonderful. But just being out there and throwing yourself out there, being honest about yourself makes a huge difference. I mean, now if you don't like yourself, if this is a shirt that says, be yourself unless yourself sucks, and then be someone else. So if you feel like yourself sucks, you need to start changing that right now.
Yeah.
Hell is meeting the man you might have been. We all have that little thing in the back of our head going, I'm not as good as I possibly could be. You're who you are. And if you're overweight, if you're, if you got some kind of physical thing, do your best to, get in shape and all that kind of stuff, but don't stop dating. Still put yourself out there and find the person that's right for you, because they're out there. The internet's trying to tell you that's not true and that you should hate everybody in the opposite sex. They're lying. They want you to sit on a podcast like this the rest of your life.
Yeah. And I love what you said. Like, oftentimes you'll hear clients say, well, I want to do my photo shoot once I've lost 10 pounds, or, these things. And I think that's so unfortunate. I mean, today's the day. You start now, you don't wait, because, or I think every woman can relate to this, especially if you've had children. You hold on to your jeans that used to fit you 5 years ago, keep waiting for them to fit. And instead of just thinking, okay, I'm just going to wear the jeans that fit me now. That's it.
Yeah. I've got a shelf in my closet that doesn't fit. It goes up on that shelf.
Yeah. Yeah.
Someday I'll lose that weight. And it's happened. It has happened.
Yeah.
And then my tastes aren't the same. So I go buy something else anyway.
Yeah. We all have that shelf, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. The people you're dating probably have that shelf too, right? I have had some members that joined after they lost a lot of weight, and joining Events and Adventures was their reward for losing. And now I'm ready. I've had people do that, and they're so excited when they join. They're so full of optimism and going, I'm going to be able to get somebody that's, that really loves me, and my weight is not going to get in the way. Right. Because inside me, I'm still the same person, but a physical deformity or overweight or whatever, we feel like it can get in the way and it can make us insecure. And, when you get rid of something like that, it really gives you a lot of confidence, and it's a really wonderful thing.
Yep. So 100%. Have you ever done a podcast with the cars behind somebody?
I don't know if I have yet, but it's okay.
It's the first time for everything.
Right. That one car, I thought, you're so far north. Is that a snowmobile? Which would have been really cool. But it's not quite snowing there yet. Right.
You'll see a lot of pickup trucks in Alberta.
There you go.
That's what you'll see. Yeah.
I believe it. What a beautiful part of the country. You're lucky to live there. So any final comments before we head out for this podcast?
Well, I think we have to, like, even what I take away from this conversation for me personally, and just, and I do say this to clients all the time, is like, authenticity sells in general. Like, you're looking for someone that compliments you. So you have to show up as you, and don't worry so much about, what you see online, the Botox, the fillers, the this, the that, because oftentimes women will say, oh, men don't like natural. And that's actually completely untrue. Like my husband would tell me that today, because my hair is not done, because I'm not wearing makeup, I look the prettiest to him, And so I want women and men to throw out these ideals in their head that they see.
Yeah. Well, and if you have implants of some kind, more power to you. I hope they're working wonderfully for you. In general, men are not a fan.
No, I know.
Even with these long fingernails, mine are way too short. I've got an addiction to my fingernails, but the opposite addiction most women have. But having them like 3 inches long, no guy's looking for that. Fake is fake and real is real. And the more real you can be, the better off you're going to be, for sure, I think. So
before we go, I want to just bring up one funny thing. And I don't know if you ever saw this. There was a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air episode, and Will Smith was in the basement. I can't remember why they were locked there, but he was there with a girl, and she was like taking off her fingernails, her weave, and they were just making a joke around it. And just to your point, like, people do love what God gave you. Embrace it.
Yeah. And if it's not perfect, he's going to see it eventually anyway. So you might as well be fine. And I understand dressing up for like a formal dinner, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But, don't let what you see on television or online and the Twitters where they're all airbrushed and stuff. Most people don't look that way. You know, especially after 30. Before 30, there's some people who look that way. After 30, people look like people that are over 30. You know, I mean, you can be in great shape to some extent, but you know, it's hard to look 21 when you're 41. So don't worry about that and just enjoy who you are. I think men and women are both attracted to confidence
100%.
in people, and just self-awareness and just feeling like comfortable in your own skin, you know, not militant 100%. About it, but comfortable in it. I think that goes a long way with people.
Without a doubt. I couldn't agree more.
All right. Well, Haley, it was wonderful to have this conversation with you. I'm sure we'll do it again.
I hope so. I hope so. This was probably my most favorite conversation I've had so far. I loved it.
Really?
Yeah, I loved it. I love talking to you. So we're going to do it again. Yeah.
But so Haley, what is there a URL or something that people should be going to? Why don't you give me that real quick?
Yeah. So www.cohengrayconnections.com, and you can contact me through the website, and that'd be great.
There you go. And for events and adventures, it's, you know, events and adventures with the and spelled out.com. And, you know, we're in 15 cities in the United States and Canada. Check that first. Make sure you're somewhere close. You can just travel with us. There are people that just travel with us that live like in, you know, North Dakota somewhere, which is way closer than Alberta. But
I'm going to convince you to open a chapter here. I'm going to convince you.
We should. We're in Vancouver, Canada right now. That's one place we're actually at. So, but give us a chat, give us a call, check the website, and make sure you like this when it comes out, because it's kind of a newer thing for us. We have a bunch, but we haven't really promoted it yet. So you're an early adopter if you're seeing this right now here in 2025. So thank you very much for spending the time with us. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.